Will we have a fourth consecutive different winner to open up the season, or will one of the three previous winners double up? We're underway.
Oh, turn already.
Caution is out.
Outside lane, not really going too many places. Williams kind of gets into the back of Clark, expecting them to go, and has to check up big time. Sargent gets into the back of Williams. McKinnon gets into the back of Sargent. It's just a chain reaction there on the top of the racetrack. Now Kay with a good run off the top. He's going to be underneath the 5 here.
And the bottom's where you want to be here in 1 and 2. That's where John Kay wants to be. And so is the lead. K to P1.
Matney goes high up into the wall. And Dye kind of follows him up there a little bit. I mean, there is a lane. But I think he knows he's trying to give Matney maybe a little bit more room than that right there. They made just slight contact. Then as Matney comes down, Dye tries to go down. Rutherford is there. That's just a bit of a stack up there in turn 3.
And Hunter Engrav potentially on the wrong side of strategy. Once again, there goes Luke Peterson for a spin. Caution is out.
Lots of drivers pile in here.
Huge pile up. So that is what happened to Corey Rutherford as well. And the caution is out. In the middle of the pit cycle, we've got a couple around in turn number 4. One of them is Paul Sargent, Jan Van Leer as well, and Rodney Matney. That is going to change things a lot because John Kay is a lap down. And some drivers have not pit yet. So it's Zach Lockett at the front of the field, and Brandley Gainey now on the outside pole. Kyle Zittel up to second straight away. Moves Gainey back a spot. Now Zittel's finished. Oh, caution is out, and Zittel saved it.
Up into Maxwell. Oh, Maxwell loose. Absolutely.
Cleans out Chad Stearns.
Caution's going to come out. Hunter Engrav is around.
Oh, Engrav hard into the outside wall there. Zach Lockett still in control. Not a great start here for Gainey on the top side. Here's Poliski underneath. Oh, Poliski into the left rear. Oh, pounds it. And that is race over for the 32.
Wow, just like, man.
Lockett all the way up to the wall, and he's in it. He's in the wall. John Kay back to the lead. Gainey to third, now looking for second. Oh, caution is out! With half a lap to the white flag, Cole Maxwell has been spun again. It's out. Race is official. Kay cautious out of turn number 2. Doesn't drift up the track. Gainey a bit loose here in second, but John Kay going to go back-to-back. He takes Richmond and he takes Rockingham. The whole squad balling out. A race at the circuit has long been discussed and lobbied for in the 7 previous seasons of Venom Truck Series competition, but here in round number 5 of season number 8, the time is finally upon us. 11 turns, 2.23 miles in length. Today, it is the Shred White and Blue 90 around WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for the first time in series history. It is presented by Insert Coin Racing, and it is brought to you by your friends here at Turn 200. Welcome back to our Venom Truck Series coverage. It's Tommy Cook, and Matt Williamson will be alongside momentarily. We have switched up the points graphic here as we are 4 races complete. Round number 5 here today, so we're going to show you the full points picture as, again, we are doing a chase-style postseason format here for the final 5 races of the season. So this graphic here is based on Rodney Matney's point standings here. He's in the final playoff position, so those are his points. He's got 94 points total for the Daytona winner. So going up, From there, that's how many points clear 9th through 1st star of Rodney Matney. Below the playoff cutoff line, that is how many they are behind Rodney Matney. It's our first ever points graphic with 15 people on it, actually 16, as there's a three-way tie for the 14th position right there with Andy Poliski, Joshua Motacek, and Zach Lockett. But the idea is still the same here. We're showing you the top 15 in the points. John Kay has the top points standing right now. He's 85 clear of the cut line. Hunter Engrab in second. Hayden Palumbo has moved now up to third. As Josh Freed missed last week, he dropped 3 positions down to 6th. Jan Van Leer and Matt Schlosser now tied for the 4th position. Dan Minglin is into the top 10. It was a rough week for Jeremy McKinnon last week. He dropped from 5th to 8th. Paul Ellison and now Rodney Matney, 9th and 10th. Rodney Matney down a couple of positions as well after getting wrecked early at Rockingham. Drivers on their way up. Brantley Gamey gained quite a few positions up to 13th last week after missing a couple of races already this season. So Brantley now with a 2nd place finish last week, just outside of the cut line here. He's got to make up 10 points sometime over the next 10 races. This will be the point of the show where we would give you the facts and figures about racing here at Laguna Seca, but we don't have any. So we will just breeze right through this, and we'll give you the drivers to watch here tonight when we go road course racing for the first time this season. Coverage of the Venom Truck Series from Laguna Seca will continue around the turn on turn 200.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
our feature presentation.
All right, welcome into live coverage here of the Venom Truck Series here on Turn 200 from Laguna Seca for the first time in series history. Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson, road course in the trucks. Wowee, partner. Are we ready?
Wowie indeed. Yeah, coming to a first-time track for the Venom Truck Series. Awesome to see. We don't have Laguna Seca on the channel too often. Certainly not in the truck. So, yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Pretty excited.
So I'm going to talk here for a minute because we did a broadcast last night. Some people may notice my energy is a bit off, and some people may know why. So it's the elephant in the room for those of you that know, and for those of you that don't know, I'll fill you in because everything's on the record now. Friday, first of all, I announced real-life racing for the 410 Wing Sprint Cars for the MOA Sprint Car Series and at Jacksonville Speedway. And during the course of a MOA race at Jacksonville on Friday, I witnessed the first in my career a fatal accident, and it was a car basically running over a couple of different people in the infield. One of them did not make it. So that has certainly put me in a funk, I think is the best way to possibly put that. Truly, it's not been a good experience. The only good to come out of it, I guess, is to find community and the people that are around you. And the whole reason I say this is not to draw attention to myself, but the Venom League Council and some of the drivers have elected to ask to hold a moment of silence for the gentleman that we lost at Jacksonville Speedway on Friday. And I could tell you, I did not know him very well. His name is Ralph Wilhite, 65 years old. But two people that I very much respect and admire in our pit area. He crewed for both of them, our three-time series champion Paul Nienheiser and somebody I'm pretty close with, Kelly Sears, and his car as well. So Ralph was in with good company. Have not heard a bad word about him since then. Also, a gentleman that was hurt, I am much closer with, Hank Pollock, and he is going to make a full recovery, but he is going to be quite literally off his feet for a number of months. So, yes, we'll hold a moment of silence today on lap 20 at the behest of the league. Kind of puts me in somewhat of an awkward position, but this will be the only time I ever speak about this publicly as well. But I do want to say that I greatly appreciate all the support from the league and all the people that have messaged me over the last few days, because truly it was a horrible situation. It continues to be a horrible situation, but we're on the mend. I've started getting some sleep the last couple of nights. Things are kind of getting back into the regular routine, and this would be one of those things that helps get us back in the swing of things. Trucks here, the Venom Truck Series. Very thankful for this group of drivers and this community as well, and appreciate them and their concern for me. But with that set aside, it's about time to go racing here. It'll be the first time that we are racing in the Venom Truck Series here at Laguna Seca. It's one that a lot of drivers have wanted for quite some time. We're going to find out if they get what they want here, because it's about to get crazy here. In the 2.25 miles and 11 turns around WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, it is Hunter Engrav with the pole position for the third time this season and in his career. He may be the odds-on favorite to take it tonight. We will see how this race shakes out. John Kay will line up on the outside of the front row, looking for 3 race victories in a row. It'll be Hayden Palumbo starting third. He finished third last week in his first career podium finish with the Venom Truck Series. Matt Schlosser won both road course races last season. He starts from fourth in the 4 truck. It is row number 3 on the inside, a road course winner here in Virtual California, and the Season 5 champ, Andy Poliski, starting at 5th. Paul Ellison, then also a former road course winner, will start in the 6th position. Dan Miglin may be one to watch here, starting back from the 7th spot. It'll be Tyler Logan in truck number 98, lining up to his outside. On row number 5 on the inside, Austin Holyfield. What a lap for him. He will start inside the top 10 here on a road course. Steve Vroman then will round out your top 10 starters. Joshua Motacek moving up in the points after a near top 10 finish last week at Rockingham. He starts in 11th. Jan Van Leer may be one of the reasons why we're here today. Has run well here in past meme events in the trucks. We'll see what he's got starting from the 12th position. Rodney Matney and Eric Breeding has 2 top 5 finishes on the road courses. He starts in 14th. Kyle Zittel will round out your top 15 starters. Second place finisher from last week, Brantley Gainey, will line in P16. Garrett Rainey and Jordan Journeau on row number 9. It is Ryan Dye and Darby Marriott on row number 10. Rob Williams and Josh Freed, the first driver to not post a time in qualifying. He starts in 22nd. Zach Lockett, Corey Rutherford on row number 12. Pascal Samard and Paul Sargent on row number 13. Starting on row number 14, it'll be Leo Smith back for his second career attempt with the Venom Truck Series. Kenneth Graves lining up to his outside. Gary Clark and Josh Jackson on row number 15. And Garrett Jenkins may or may not be racing. He is a spotter. I think he accidentally registered as a driver, so we'll see if he decides to turn the lap here. But regardless, a field of at least 30, if not 31 here today at Laguna Seca. Matt Williamson, what do we got for track conditions? What do we got for these drivers in terms of strategy here for 40 laps around Laguna Seca?
Yeah, looking at the track temperature, of course, in California, it's not too bad. 94 degrees on the track temperature. Actually should be pretty good for the drivers here, I think. It's warm enough to have plenty of grip, but not too hot where the tires are going to boil on them either. So pretty good running temperatures for the drivers here tonight. We got 45 laps around Laguna Seca here this evening. The pit window for fuel is about 30 laps, but I mean, when we, looking at tires, they're probably just going to cut the 45 pretty much in half if you had to guess. I mean, some will come in 1 or 2 laps earlier, some 1 or 2 laps later, but most of them probably going to come around that halfway point. They do get 3 extra sets of tires should they so want to use them. A couple drivers may gamble and make 2 stops potentially. I don't know. We'll have to see. And no fast repairs here in the Venom Truck Series, so these drivers are going to want to be patient here on the start with these windy turns side by side.
I do want to point out, it says 45 laps in the script. It is 40. And also, no cautions, unless we really, really have a big one. I'm looking at you, Corkscrew. We will see. Ngrav and Kay, the power duo of the season, first and second in the points, first and second on the starting grid. Green flag is waving. We're racing at Laguna Seca. Ngrav, clean getaway, some shuffling behind. Most everybody making it through the first turn here. Kay trying to get clear on Palumbo and Will. Schlosser and Poliski side by side. Now that is done and dusted as Schlosser hangs on to 4th. Oh, first wreck, and it's Jordan Journeau, and he is nosed into the barrier hard from 18th.
Yeah, the right front wheel is pretty beat up there. I think that's definitely going to be down pit road for some repair if
Paul
he's able
Ellison,
even to continue.
Paul Ellison back 2 positions from 6th down to 8th. Austin Holyfield's on the way forward. He's already up to 6th from the 9th starting position. But it's Ngrav leading comfortably, 2nd and a half, as they round the rainy corner. Oh,
trouble!
blocker! That's
Corkscrew.
Rob Williams went around, Josh Jackson as well. I think we're rolling again.
Yeah, Kenneth Graves was stuck in the middle of that as well.
I think it started with Dan Miglin, or Dan Miglin may have been involved in that. As Steve Vroman and Garrett Rainey. I think Vroman. Whoa, Vroman pulling out in front of everybody. Oh boy. That was a Samard that's going to go the wrong direction. Having to check up for Froman. Two and a half second lead for Engrav over K. He is checked out. Hello to everybody in the chat. Goodleaf is here. JJ Wang is here. Jeff is here. Lindsay G, an early arriver. Things spreading out through the field. Oh, yeah, we're on time to go up top.
Whoops. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour endurance race here today.
No, that would be a party.
It certainly would. I'd be down. Here we go for third. Palumbo blinking a bit, but this is Schlosser overtaking legitimately. Or trying to, at least down the long front straight.
Yeah, he'll have the inside lane here into the hairpin, so should be able to make this pass.
Ooh. Poliski sending it. Wow, that was tidy. Well done.
That would have been very easy for Poliski to overcook it, trying to get a 2-for-1 there through on Palumbo, but able to make it work. Great move there.
So Palumbo about 2 seconds clear on Austin Holyfield, who's holding it down in P6. Ryan Dye has just lost a couple of positions. He's gone from 15th back to 17th. Not sure what happened there. But Engrav extended the lead up front over 4 seconds. John Kay well clear of Schlosser. We'll see what Schlosser could do with some clean air in front of him now.
Yeah, I think a lot of banana bucks probably put on Engrav to win this one.
Certainly. Pascal Samard is just towed back to the pits. He was running 20th at the time, and it seems his race is over. So that's unfortunate.
Poliski always good on these road courses, as well as Matt Schlosser. Those two starting to close together. Poliski catching up a little bit here. Palumbo also not going anywhere. It's fun to see some of the rookies, their first time at a road course here in competition, see who's going to be towards the front of the field throughout the season. So good stuff here from Palumbo.
We know Engrav is good at the road courses. We saw him in Truck 200. Obviously, he's won a lot of ASRL races as well. But you're right. No idea what to expect for the rest of them. Palumbo in 5th. Josh Motorcheck in 9th here as well. Joshua hanging in here. And Darby Marriott back in the 19th position. Dan Miglin working his way forward. After getting an EOL penalty, he did qualify 7th, but had to start at the tail of the field for avoidable contact last week at Rockingham. Oh, Austin Holyfield is run wide, and that will give up a spot to Tyler Logan. Those two are satellite teammates. I'm sure Holyfield wanted to hold it down. That's Logan up to 6th. Got to tell you, we got a long way to go in this one, but I did not have a top 10 run for Austin Holyfield pegged here tonight. So it started off great.
Well, we can't count them in yet. There's a pretty good line of drivers lined up behind that are looking to continue to move forward.
Certainly.
Oh, there's a little bit of a dive there from Ellison. Tried to get to the inside of Holyfield. That final corner is just so difficult. And that's not the only place. We haven't talked too much about the track because we're pretty sure most are pretty familiar with Laguna Seca here, but in the trucks, this is a very difficult circuit.
That corkscrew is treacherous, to say the least. Steve Roman is picking up spots here after his spin. He's gained 3 spots the last lap, back up to 15th. Poliski hanging with Schlosser here in third. Schlosser and Poliski, the two fastest drivers that aren't named Hunter Engrav on the track right now. We got Jeremy McKinnon cheering on Poliski, as well as Darby and Steve. Oh, Engrav is way off the track. Engrav off into the gravel.
Somebody else is slow there as well. I
think
wonder
that
if
was
there was
Gary.
contact.
Gary Clark. But Engrav had a 6.5 second lead. It's cut down to not very much. Maybe a second and a half here. Make it 2 seconds. Oh, Steve Roman has gone for a spin again in the corkscrew. He's back outside of the top 20 now.
It's been tough for Steve this season. Certainly has not had the finishes that we're kind of used to him having early on here, trying to get something going, but it's been tough tonight. Here's a battle for position between Dan Miglin and Corey Rutherford. Also, haven't really mentioned all of the new paint schemes for tonight either. Miglin's going to end up making that one work there through turn one and then through the hairpin.
Miglin and Engrav may be the only two people not running a new paint scheme for tonight, as Kyle Zittles just spun out from 11th. Almost everybody in new colors today.
And, of course, lots of those colors are red, white, and blue for the 4th of July coming up this week. Man, this grouping in the back half of the top 10, it's not going to take but one little mistake for somebody to absolutely barrel into the rest of them.
Logan in 6th, Holyfield in 7th, Ellison in 8th,
goes
Motocek in
Ellison.
9th.
He's been working on that pass in that very specific spot a couple of laps in a row here.
And Jan Van Leer in 10th is at the tail end of the train here. DRS should be enabled this lap, of course. Oh, Poliski's off in turn 1. He had been closing back in on Matt Schlosser, but that is all for naught now.
Let's go ahead and take a look back at Engrav getting off track here. Oh, yeah, and Clark in front of him was slow. I think was going to try and give Engrav the inside, but didn't realize how quickly Engrav was coming up. So Engrav had to make a huge evasive maneuver out into the dirt, but not too much harm there. Just some dirty tires for a couple corners, and got it back going again. He's right back on the horse.
Yeah, he's put a 1.5 seconds back to John Kay now, so it's 3.5 seconds total. Colombo pulling back up on Poliski. They may have a battle here in the next couple laps for 4th. Kay and Schlosser running similar lap times, but nobody's got anything for Engrav right now. He's about 6 to 7 tenths faster a lap. And we got chats for Zach Lockett, who's running back in 25th. As Steve Roman is around again. So Roman will drop from 19th down to 23rd. But Lockett led quite a few laps last week at Rockingham en route to a 10th place finish. I think a couple less restarts, he might have been on for a podium. Still got a long way to go here. We're working lap number 8 for the race leaders. 8 out of 40. Fuel capacity is 30 laps. But my guess is they'll go 20-20 as per our crew chief. Oh, Engrav is off in the corkscrew. I think the disaster averted there. He'll have to slow down and give some time back. But that thing was way kicked out on him.
And Kay just now going through the corkscrew, but Again, little mistakes like that pile up. Gave away another second and a quarter maybe there to John Kay.
Yep, certainly. Paul Ellison still working on Austin Holyfield here. Holyfield keeping Tyler Logan close, but not trying to make any passes yet.
Let's go ahead and we're going to go to the cockpit of Jan Van Leer, who has a great look at Logan, Holyfield, and Ellison all lined up in front of him. Ellison has been all over the back of Holyfield here. Maybe Ellison will be able to get it done this time around. Oh, a huge moment there for Jan Van Leer. Had to put a ton of counter steer into it. You can definitely tell that the package for the trucks has changed on the road courses here. Lots of just tiny little counter steers as they're trying to get out of corners, and you can just tell kind of how floaty the truck seems to be through some of these. I feel like it definitely used to be a little bit more planted, but it looks pretty tough for the drivers here tonight.
Definitely looks a little wiggly, and I'll tell you this much. Hunter Engrav kept the truck on track that entire lap. But John Kay was faster. That's the first time that's happened this race. Ryan Dye, I think, with another off track. He's gone back 2 spots. One of those positions he lost was to Josh Jackson, and Jackson's off in the corkscrew. And Ryan Dye goes off in the corkscrew. I would imagine coming to lap 18, 19, 20, hitting the corkscrew, these guys are going to be holding on for dear life.
Oh, and here's Ellison and Jan Van Leer. Ellison had a moment out of the final corner that set this battle up. Oh, and Ellison's off track.
Ellison back a spot.
By the way, Ellison seems to have corrected his battle with the VR headset for now. We'll see if that's able to if they're able to stay friends here throughout this race.
We can only hope.
And of course, thank you again to Nathan Reynolds with Car Inside for providing the Car Inside camera, always giving us the great insight.
And thinking of Nathan Reynolds here today as well. He's on the mend. Seems like things are going okay, though. But hope for the best.
Tommy, you're right. John Kay absolutely on a mission, was faster by a good margin 1 lap ago. This last lap around was just about dead even time-wise. But he is really starting to put it together here.
Engrav definitely pushed very, very hard to start this race. Maybe paying for it a bit now. He certainly looks uneasy with the rear tires, especially around some of these left-handers. So Engrav leading, Kay, Schlosser, Poliski, Palumbo the top 5. Logan, Holyfield, Van Leer, Ellison, and Motacek the top 10. Only one battle in the, well, I guess 2 battles in the top 10 right now. Logan and Holyfield haven't really been going at it that much. But Paul Ellison trying to get back past Jan Van Leer for 8th. Keeping our eyes on the relative here as some lap traffic ahead. Dispatched by Engrav and John Kay.
They started trading lap times a little bit here, and grab a little bit faster than John that time around.
Another lapper ahead will be Zach Lockett. Coming up here. There are a couple guys that we don't really think of as road course guys that are doing quite well here today. Of course, Austin Holyfield in 7th. Hard to say with the rookies. I have no idea if Josh Modicek's a road course guy here tonight. But he's running 10th, so it looks like he is to me. Rodney Matney, not noted as a road course racer. He's in P11. Eric Breeding has great road course finishes. He's up a couple spots there in 12th. And Dan Menglin is a road course guy, and he has plowed through this field after having an EOL to start this race. He's up to 14th.
Oh, wow. Josh Jackson, big moment there, is trying to make a move on Steve Roman. That was to get up to 18th, but lost quite a bit of time there.
Last lap by John Kay, faster than Hunter Engrav. As there are cars off all over Engrav and Kay right now. Marriott and Williams and Lockett all were off track as the leaders were approaching. Oh, I think Josh Jackson has crashed up the Rahal straight. He is moving again. He'll get passed by Leo Smith, who's making his second start tonight. So Smith into the top 20. Steve Vroman is coming to pit road. I would imagine he's had pretty close to enough at this point. He has been off track quite a bit. John Kay, with all those trucks going off track around him there into turn number 1, he lost a ton of time. That gap has nearly doubled from what it was at the start of the lap. But the quantity of traffic is not going to diminish here.
Certainly not. I mean, we have quite a few drivers that have started this race, which is awesome to see. 30 drivers at a road course race. It's just spectacular here for the Venom Truck Series, but that does mean that you're going to have a little bit more traffic as you're working your way through the field.
And Engrav much better through the first half of the lap. Second half of the lap is K's. Jan Van Leer getting closer to Austin Holyfield now. That'll be for 7th. Jan started back in 12th, doing a nice job already.
Jan trying to work his way through the field a little bit more. Is already up 4 positions, looking for another one from Holyfield here.
They got one off in front of them, and I think
that is
Ryan died. Oh, no. Well,
And
Ryan
the front of that truck,
out.
it's over on that one.
Oh, Lord.
Not quite sure what happened there. I don't have any sort of crash incident for me to really be able to look at it. I'll see if I can maybe find something here in a moment. Well, we're going to continue to watch some battles here as Holyfield has now caught up to Tyler Logan, but Holyfield also still having to worry about Jan Van Leer behind.
Oh, that was a spin right in front of Holyfield. That was Rob Williams.
Now, so Tyler Logan made a mistake and backed up to Holyfield and now has driven away a couple of seconds. Oh, Holyfield off the track of the corkscrew.
Well, that is going to result in a slowdown, and that will give the spot to Jan Van Leer and to Paul Ellison. The reason for the time lost there was the spin of Rob Williams right in front of Holyfield. Had to slow way down not to pile into the 19. Oh, but Tyler Logan nearly around. All but spun there in the final turn.
We've
and
seen
Graves been. Oh, go ahead.
I've seen a couple of drivers, and from experience as well, there in that final corner, trying to get back into the throttle out of that really tight left-hander is really difficult. You want to either get in there too hot, and you start getting tight out towards the into the gravel, or when you're trying to get back on the throttle, you start kind of spinning out a little bit. You really got to be careful, and it's a little bit touchy on getting back in the throttle there.
Rob Williams coming down pit road. Oh, yeah. Don't mention it. That time, John Kay faster than Hunter Engraf for the first time in a few laps, working lap 17. John is well clear of Matt Schlosser, nearly 7 seconds clear. Schlosser has almost 12 seconds back to Andy Poliski. Palumbo and Logan with now a lot of space to work with. Or rather, Palumbo with a lot of space to work with over Logan. But Logan has Jan Van Leer and Paul Ellison right behind him. And Austin Holyfield not too far behind should things go south.
There's a 42 of Darby Marriott. We haven't talked about Darby really at all today, but we have to highlight the hotdogs.com number 42. How could we not? If you haven't been joining us on Mondays for the Figure 8 Frenzy, you might not know where the joke here comes from. I encourage you to maybe go watch the driver interviews from last week and the week before. But love to see the hotdogs.com sponsorship here in the Venom Truck Series.
Say its name and it appears, I believe, in hotdogs.com. Well, we've got a correspondent standing by with Ryan Dye, standing outside the Infield Care Center. Ryan Dye, what's on your mind?
I don't know.
Well, we couldn't find a replay. What happened?
The lap before. This is going to sound so stupid. I've been fighting a sneeze this whole race.
That is a real problem that I don't think non-sim racers will get.
And I've almost sneezed twice, and it's caused me to run off the track. And it finally got me going into the corkscrew, and instead of turning in the corkscrew, I just went straight. But that one actually didn't hurt it too bad. And I got back out there and came back around the next time and just dipped my tires off and went again face first into the corkscrew. So, you know.
Well, the first sneeze retirement in sim racing history, perhaps. But, anybody want to say hi to here?
Want to say hi to, I don't know, my wife, my kids, my team. I'm sorry, Corey. He hired me, and then I have done nothing but finish. Yeah, I can't even say I've done nothing but finish. I haven't even finished. So,
well,
yeah.
Onward and upward from here. I'm sure, just by coincidence, that you'll be taking next week off. But
we're going to take a temporary retirement next week.
And then come out of retirement.
And then come out of retirement the week after that. And we'll see if this temporary retirement does the trick.
Alrighty, partner. Go enjoy some time away, and we'll talk to you rejuvenated at Gateway, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Go Hunter. My teammate. He's leading. Go Hunter.
Alrighty, reminder, in about half a lap, we're going to take a lap of silence here, and it should coincide with the beginning of pit stop, so that will be interesting. But Engrav headed up the Rahal straight towards the corkscrew once again. Josh Jackson has been on pit road on this lap. And we'll see what some of the drivers elect to do here. John Kay has been closing in. He's brought it back to a 2.5 seconds.
Side by side for position here. Motocek and Matney have been right here together for about the last lap. Oh, there's contact while they're trying to get through lap traffic. And Matney able to get through. Had to go
Hunter,
3 wide through the little straight shoot there.
Hunter Engrav coming to lap 20. This lap is for Jeff Beasley, it's for Hank Pollock, and it's for Ralph Wilhite. Boy, what a lap 20 that was. John Kay to the lead. Engrav struggling on the tires. Incredible. Was 3 seconds back just a couple laps ago, and he has muscled his way to the point.
Why wouldn't it happen that way, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I have to believe Engrav's going to be down pit road this next time around.
We are across halfway officially. The only 2 drivers to pit last lap was Kenneth Graves and Gary Clark. Clark not on the lead lap. And in fact, neither is Kenneth Graves. So no lead lap drivers other than Steve Roman at the time that he came down pit road. But you can't talk about the undercut without talking about John Kay. So will he try to play that game and do it himself? Kyle Zittel and Brantley Gainey are both down pit road. Corey Rutherford is down pit road as well. Those are all lead lap drivers. They're on the beginning of the lap that the leaders are on now. So what will Kay and Engrav do this time? John Kay is a no-go. Engrav is coming down pit road. Hard to be aggressive on this pit road. It is ridiculously narrow. Matt Schlosser follows Engrav in. Schlosser was 4 seconds quicker than the leaders last time around because they were battling so hard. So he made up a ton of time. Okay, up front a 1:31.3, which is still the fastest on the track.
And for K and Engrav, pit stops are going to be so important here when there's not much of a margin between the two of them on the long run. I mean, getting on and off of pit road is going to be so crucial here to winning this race.
Jan Van Leer, Jordan Journeau down pit road this time. And we've got Carla Matney in the chat cheering on Rodney. Eric Breeding down pit road, so is Dan Miglin.
Jan Van Leer making his way off of pit road. We saw Hunter Engrav get back on the track just a moment ago as well.
Well, I think Corey Rutherford and Steve Froman got tangled together. I hear somebody, I think Rob Williams has just crashed heading into the corkscrew. He hit the barriers pretty hard, and Kenneth Graves is around at the bottom of the corkscrew. John Kay down pit road. See if that drags anybody else down here on lap 22, coming to lap 23. Kay is 23 seconds clear of Poliski.
Here comes Engrav into the final corner. John still in his pit box, now just getting rolling. And there goes Engrav.
Wow. Huge gap.
Massive.
Although Kay will make some of that up here with the short outroad lap.
Oh, and Engrav made a little bit of mistake there in turn number 2 as well.
He makes some time up, but not nearly enough. It is going to be Engrav well out in front after triggering the undercuts. But Kay with a lap fresher tires, and Engrav seemed to struggle at the end of a run. Will he make the mistakes he made again? Ellison, Logan, Holyfield, Motocek all down pit road. That is 7th through 11th. Rodney Matney as well. A gap officially 4 seconds from Kay up to Engrav.
This is going to be just about everybody down pit road. Poliski and Palumbo still holding out here. For right now, anyways. I would imagine that they are going to be coming here pretty quick. Because here comes Hunter Engrav getting ready to make a move on Palumbo.
To say they can go another 6 or 7 laps on fuel, but I don't think you want to.
Well, Palumbo just got passed by Engrav and did not come down pit road. You see John Kay there in the background of the shot. And it's a 3-second gap between Poliski and Engrav, but that is going to shrink pretty rapidly here with Engrav on fresh tires.
I do want to point out that Matt Schlosser just ran his personal fastest lap of the race. So if John Kay can't get on his horse, Schlosser might take him up on running second here. As Tyler Logan has just spun, he has lost 3 positions to Van Leer, Ellison, and Holyfield.
Man, he done such a good job all night. He was in the front of that train for a long time, and just one mistake, that'll lose you a few spots.
How we doing, Mr. Maxwell? Welcome to the chat. Sure on ICR. Jan right now P6. He's got a long way to go to catch up to Matt Schlosser there in 5th. About 30 seconds. As Josh Motocek just went for a spin in the final turn but did not lose any positions. He still rides in 11th.
Dan Miglin, Eric Breeding battling here through the final corner. Breeding had a little bit of a tire spin there, trying to get back into the throttle, and Miglin is able to get around.
Aiden Palumbo coming down pit road. Andy Poliski still out on the track, about to be overtaken for the race lead.
And Grab dives to the inside, forces Poliski a little bit wide there.
Poliski not done fighting. It'd be different if this were to stay from going a lap down, but that is for the lead. Engrav, though, inevitably through. Kay still pushing, but he is slower than Engrav, who is going hard. Which, again, I just want to point this out. That is exactly what he did at the start of the last stint, and he was not very quick by the end of it.
Has a little bit more time to play with here. He was able to gap John in the pits, but you're right. Pushing hard again.
Rainey spins right in front of Hunter Engrav, and it forces Engrav off the track again. And that has cut into that gap big time.
Wow. Oh, and John
but Kay
Kay's
sends it
now.
wide. Kay tried to get around Poliski and now taking the long way through the gravel, and all that time lost all that time gained has now been lost.
It's it's almost exactly where it was before both of those incidents now.
And that's not even Poliski. That was Corey Rutherford. That was an unforced error. Truly.
Yeah, that was Rutherford. Poliski dove down into pit road there while they were behind him. Oh, and wow, looked like maybe even a little bit of contact between Rutherford and Kay as well. Here comes Matt Schlosser into the picture.
Oh, Dan Miglin has crashed, and he's got a meatball.
All right, folks, a little bit of blinking going on there, kind of keeping the cameras from doing what I want them to, but we're back.
Well, Miglin's race is probably over, as he was trying to get up to the top 10. For the first time in a while, nobody standing between John Kay and Hunter Engrav.
Schlosser got cut up behind lap traffic a little bit here, so his advance on Kay has stalled.
Schlosser's got 30 seconds back to Andy Poliski. So he should be feeling okay about coming away with the podium here if he could keep it on the tarmac. Corey Rutherford's having a rough lap. He's been off track twice. Still in 17th. Engrav catching traffic right on the approach to the corkscrew, so that probably did not do him any favors.
I mean, it's really going to come down to the long run again. I mean, is John still saving a little bit here like he did on that first run, or has he lost too much time here?
Well, this will be a good indicator here. Engrav with only a little bit of time loss. And still maybe faster, and indeed he was. By 1/10.5. More lap traffic ahead. They are all, at this point, getting accustomed to moving out of the way. So it's lap 28 for our leader, the 28. Engrav, K, and Schlosser, your podium runners. Poliski in 4th. Palumbo in 5th. Jan Van Leer, Paul Ellison, Austin Holyfield, Tyler Logan, and Rodney Matney, the top 10. Nobody within a second of one another until you get all the way back to 15th. Steve Vroman and Garrett Rainey are somewhat close. But that's about the only battle we've got for position right now.
And Ellison and Holyfield have been hovering right around a second. They kind of go in and out of being a second apart from each other, so they're fairly close here. But you're right. Not tons of close battles here. And Jan Van Leer, in fact, is getting to be a part of this as well. He's fallen back to Ellison a touch.
Oh, somebody spun out right in front of Austin Holyfield again. I think it was Josh Jackson.
Yeah, it was Josh Jackson.
That's the second time that's happened to him.
These three can't get away from each other. Van Leer, Ellison, and Holyfield in all types of different variations have been one behind the other for pretty much this entire race.
Somebody's been blinking up front. Might have been Engrav. I lost my intervals there for a second. Last time around, John K, 0.8 of a second faster. So we are cutting back into this gap. Did lap traffic play a part in that? Probably. But that's not going to matter to John. Ellison almost had a go there on JVL into the final turn. Bailey Marie cheering on Josh Motacek, who's kind of out all by himself in 11th. He's got 12 seconds to the truck in front of him and 11 seconds to the truck behind him.
Ellison starting to apply pressure to the 5 here.
Ball coming off his best finish of the season last week at Rockingham. Coming off a 6th and a 5th back-to-back. And he's in the top 10 of the points now. Would love to follow it up with another P6. I remember way back, Paul Ellison, I think he finished 5th place in the first 3 consecutive Truck 200 races. I think he knocked off a 5th, a 5th, and a 5th, all in a row. Those are the statistical anomalies that I live for. Engrav opened it back up. Answered the call with a couple tenths of his own last time. But Kay's been struggling here on this lap. But the traffic is Ellison. Holy cow, a huge send there. Wow.
I mean, he outbroke Jan Van Leer by a lot. Nearly ran into the back of him, and now they make contact. Oh, Ellison, all kinds of loose there. Holyfield's going to end up getting through.
Well, I think Ellison turned in a little bit early there, but Jan definitely answered with a send of his own. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, Ellison didn't run him wide. I mean, he outbroke him by a big margin, but he didn't run into him, so was able to still keep it in his racing line. But that was a little hairy there from being in the cockpit.
Certainly.
Oh, and now it looks like he blew it into the corkscrew again.
Yeah, and I'll have to give up a spot now to Tyler Logan, who will move back into the picture here.
Really easy for some mistakes to kind of compound here.
So Ellison from 7th back to 9th. Jan will hang on to 6, but now has Austin Holyfield right back behind him. Engrav quicker by half a second last time around. John Kay starting to run out of time. Even hoping to get to the tail end of this run here. He's still got to be close.
I think that was Marieth wide trying to give away to those on the lead lap.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Hayden Palumbo is catching Andy Poliski.
Thought Poliski was going to be in a really great position because he came into pit way after most people.
And Holyfield just ran off the track in the corkscrew, so he's going to give up 2 spots now to serve the slowdown penalty.
These 4 have just flip-flopped and switched positions like it's nobody's business here this race.
Oh, Rodney Matney was catching them, but he just went way off the track at the final corner. He's still got 14 seconds back to the car behind him, so he's good to stay in the top 10, but will lose touch with that train, at least for now.
Well, Kay had a couple laps that seemed to be faster, I should say were faster than Engrav, but Engrav has really put on the jets here in the last couple of laps. The gap is over 5 seconds now.
Brantley Gainey in 12th place has just gone a lap down. Next up will be Holyfield in 11th, or excuse me, Motocek in 11th. Track conditions have swung wildly since the start of this race. It has cooled by at least 10 degrees. So that could be a big factor in why Engrav has been able to maintain the blistering pace he's on much better on the second stint here. As John Kay and Andy Poliski are sort of jockeying back and forth for being the second quickest driver on track. Still keeping decent pace, but yeah, Engrav is still sub 130 here.
Oh, Ellison and Logan.
Yep. Paul gets back through.
Logan, a huge wiggle there into the next right-hander. Holyfield's going to get back through.
And it continues.
That is... oh, goodness.
Well, that puts Ellison back in sight of Jan Van Leer. And we'll see how Ellison's feeling about the contact earlier, if he can catch him. Holyfield just went off the track. Tyler Logan looking to get back through, and will. So another pass.
These drivers are definitely going to have the most passes in the race. It's just all going to be for the same position.
Yes. John Kay, last time by, way faster than Hunter Engrav. So Kay not done yet.
Presumably, probably some sort of a flip up there from Engrav. I don't think
it
John's
could also
go
be
a second
Josh
faster.
Jackson, who Kay cannot get past. He just lost a ton of time into the corkscrew, as Jackson did not let John Kay go by. Still hasn't. Yeah, so that went from under 4 seconds to almost 6 seconds in that exchange. I'm sure John is not happy about that.
I think I'm willing to bet that's probably correct.
Yeah, he ran a 129 2 laps ago, and this time it was a 132. Wow. So if there was any hope, that might have dashed it. But we run the laps for a reason. We've got to find out. Paul Ellison closing in on Jan Van Leer, and this could be an interesting exchange. It'll be for 6th. And Holyfield and Logan about to square off again for 8th. Wonder if they're tired of each other yet.
I don't think so. I think they're probably having some fun. I'm sure both of them would maybe like to move forward to the next person, I suppose, but I think they're still having fun battling amongst each other.
Yeah, Kay another 0.8 down this last lap. Gap is almost 7 seconds. Gonna need some intervention for John Kay to get his way back into this one. I'm excited to see the incident totals at the end of this race. I'm sure there are some high ones.
I'm willing to bet.
Ellison within a couple truck lengths here. Seems to be much smoother on the back half of the lap. Closes right up there into turn 1.
Ellison has been really good on braking here today. That's where he's made up a lot of his time, is in the braking zones. A little bit of dirt starting to be thrown out onto the middle of the racetrack there through the corkscrew, as almost always happens. So again, I got to be even more careful through there here towards the end of the race. Oh, look at that. Ellison right up to the bumper through the middle of the corner, but struggles a bit with the exit.
Three laps to go when we get back to the stripe here for Hunter Engrav. And that gap is ballooning quickly.
I'm willing to bet Kay was maybe a little bit more aggressive early on in the run and may have burned him up more than he had hoped.
Well, the fall off for Engrav certainly helped at the beginning of this one, and it hasn't happened in this run. Ellison, a mistake through the corkscrew, loses some of the time that he has gained on Jan Van Leer. Engrav around the final turn will take the Illinois green flag this time. 2 laps to go.
Oh, Jan!
Oh, there goes Jan!
Big save. Ellison had gotten even with him on exit of the hairpin. Ellison's been so good through that second corner. Able to get side by side, and then Jan tried to send it into the next one and got the truck upset. But now he's going to have to deal with Tyler Logan and Austin Holyfield with rubber that is not liking him at the moment.
Save the fireworks for July 4th this time, I guess. Lap and a half from Engrav, taking his second win with the Venom Truck Series. White flag displayed at the line this time. Engrav 2.25 miles from win number 2.
I think Kay's starting to coast. Almost 12 seconds is the gap now. Just trying not to make any mistakes.
Poliski's been much faster than John Kay these last, or rather Matt Schlosser's been much faster these last few laps than John Kay. That gap is just so massive at this point. As Austin Holyfield and Rodney Matney going to go for it here, coming to their white flag. Holyfield drops back to 10th.
Yeah, and Jan Van Leer went off track as well. Logan's gotten through on Jan.
Indeed. And they're not too far ahead of the race leader. Oh, Engrav just got run off the track by a lapper, but crisis averted, brings it back on. That was close. That's the third time that's happened, if anybody's keeping track. That was the least disastrous of all of them. Engrav through turn number 11. And Hunter Engrav will take the Shred White and Blue 90 here for his second career Venom Truck Series victory. Engrav stamps his name on Laguna Seca. John Kay, a valiant effort, but will bring it home a respectable second place. Still going to be the points leader after tonight. Matt Schlosser has yet to finish off the podium with the Venom Truck Series at a road course. He will take the bronze. And it's 30 seconds back to Andy Poliski in fourth. I'm not sure. Something happened to Andy Poliski last lap because he was almost 6 seconds slower than the race leader.
I would imagine something definitely did happen.
John Kay made contact with Joshua Motacek on the final lap. Motacek finishes the first truck first track a lap down in 11th. Poliski brings it home in 4th. Palumbo looking to come home in 5th. Paul Ellison won't be too far behind him. And here comes the choo-choo train. Logan, Van Leer, Matney, Holyfield. And that should be just about everybody. As we'll go in search of your race winner, who is back on the front straightaway and ready to burn him down as a race winner already for the second time this season. Truly and honestly, Hunter has had an opportunity to win every single race this season. Had a clutch restart at Charlotte to take home the first victory. Led a lot of laps in the last couple races.
He's letting it all hang out here. He's excited about this one.
It's like an ice skater. This is the floor routine. And that's all she wrote for Hunter Engrav. With the win here in the celebration at Laguna Seca. We'll talk to him, we'll talk to John Kay, and we'll talk to Matt Schlosser, your podium finishers here momentarily. Nice job for them in a 1-2-3. Andy Poliska will bring it home in P4. Hayden Palumbo then will round out the top 5. He's been racking them and stacking them of late. Paul Ellison, a distant 6th place finish. Tyler Logan there in 7th. Jan Van Leer will slip back to 8th. And then 9th place for Rodney Matney. A career best road course finish for Austin Holyfield of 10th. That is his 3rd career top 10 finish, so well done to him. I believe that is also Rodney Matney's best career road course finishes as well. With a 9th place. So nice job to both of them. 11th place to Joshua Motacek. I believe that ties his best career finish from earlier this season at Daytona. And indeed it does. So nice run for Motacek tonight. Brantley gaining a good run here tonight on the road course. Will finish in the 12th position. 13th for Kyle Zittel. 14th for Eric Breeding. 15th for Steve Vroman. It will be 16th for Corey Rutherford, who was having a good battle there with Garrett Rainey in the closing lap. They are the last trucks one lap down in 16th and 17th. 18th, respectable finish tonight for Leo Smits in his second career start with the Venom Truck Series. That is his best career finish. Josh Jackson in 19th, Jordan Journeau in 20th. Zach Lockett will finish in 21st. Josh Freed in 22nd. Darby Marriott on his own lap there in 23rd. Rob Williams in 24th. Dan Miglin, I believe, at DNF tonight in 25th. Kenneth Graves in 26th. Gary Clark 27th. Ryan Dye, nightmare season for him. He's in 28th. 29th for Paul Sargent in 30th. An early retirement for Pascal Samard, unfortunately, at the tail end of the field, as Garrett Jenkins was indeed a spotter. Never took the green flag here tonight. Waiting for somebody to come to the waiting room, and I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm just going to pull in Matt Schlosser. Hot swap him straight into booth 200. He takes the 3rd, yet to finish off the podium here with the road courses here in the Venom Truck Series. Congrats on a 3rd place tonight. You got a copy? Uh-oh. May have caught him. There may be a reason he wasn't in wasn't in the waiting room. We'll move him back down. We don't have John Kay yet, and he is not in the Discord for me to poll. As now Schlosser has completely disappeared. Okay, well, I guess we'll get your thoughts here first, Matt, on a race a long-awaited race here at Laguna Seca. I think maybe a little bit less chaotic than I thought it was going to be. But what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a tough test for the drivers. I mean, Laguna Seca and a big heavy stock car or truck is it's not very easy, and it was definitely put on display here tonight. But, I mean, they're in the top 10, back half of the top 10. I mean, the battles were going on all night long there. And that pass that John Kay made at the very end of that first run, definitely thought that he had something for Engrav, but Engrav definitely figured something out. Excited to get to talk to him and figure out exactly what he was able to figure out there on the second run. But all in all, I think you're right. Maybe a little bit less chaotic, but still really great stuff.
As up. We'll try this again. Matt Schlosser, you got a copy.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you now. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, I have no idea what that was all about. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You just didn't want to talk to us. But I would imagine you're probably a little wore out here, even though you were, for the most of this race, it seemed like you were kind of on your own island there. Not much pressure from behind, kind of nipping and tucking there with John Kay a little bit. But, I mean, just kind of riding by yourself there in third for the longest time.
Yeah, it was a little bit lonely at times. I was able to hang on to John for a bit. He was just faster. And then Hunter, I don't know if Hunter made a mistake, but he came back too, and I could see both of them, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll have a chance here if they get to racing and wear out some stuff. But they were both just faster, and I was kind of alone in third. Raced with Andy a good bit. He fell back a little bit at the end, but yeah, it was definitely busy though, because I mean, I could tell everybody was doing their best with being laps down, trying to give space, but it's such a tight track. You just catch people at the kink or the corkscrew, and you got to kind of be patient. And so it was a busy time for sure, even though I wasn't battling a whole lot for position.
Matt, what do you got for Matt?
Yeah, congrats on a great run here. And Tommy kind of said you were kind of out there all on your lonesome a little bit, but definitely busy. I mean, is there anything that you have to do to kind of keep yourself busy? I mean, are you looking at relative quite a bit, or just looking out the windshield? I mean, what are you doing in your situation like that where everybody's kind of spread out from you and you're kind of on your own?
Yeah, for most of that, I was trying to look up to second place and see if I was at least matching the times, and sometimes I would, and then I would lose a second here and there. And I would say with about 10 to go, I was just kind of I totally burned out my tires because I was trying to push really hard to see if I could get up to those guys. But with 10 to go, I was just managing it and being careful in traffic and not flying off the track anywhere. So yeah, it was a busy time for sure. It was a fun race. I love this track. It was a bit of a workout, but yeah, it was a good run.
I would imagine if this were even at all possible, maybe a bit of a disappointing night for the team. Dan Miglin getting wrecked out there. Zach stuck back in the 20s. No Chad Stearns here tonight, but you guys have been rocking and rolling here of late.
Yeah. It looks like I talked to Zach. He said he didn't get a good chance to qualify and was just kind of mired back. And yeah, I saw Dan off the track and something happened to him. But yeah, we've been having some good runs. It seems like at least one of us is near the front each week. Chad is always fast when he's around, and Dan is quick, and Zach about won the race last week, which was awesome. So I mean, it's going well. I feel like we got a little bit of momentum, and it's fun, and we're doing our best out here.
All righty, partner. Who do you want to shout out? Who do you want to say hi to?
Yeah, shout out to all the guys, admin team at Venom as always, and shout out to you guys, Turn 200, for everything you do, and the broadcast, and yeah, also I want to give my condolences to anyone who's close to the gentleman who lost his life at Jacksonville. Obviously, just wanted to give my thoughts and prayers, and let anyone, I don't know if anyone is watching who might see or hear, but just want to know that I'm thinking of them and you, of course, and anyone who's close to that. So I wanted to say that as well.
Well, thank you, partner. I appreciate it, and the entire community appreciates the support as well. So thank you for the time here tonight. Congrats on the third place, and we'll talk to you again here soon.
All right. Thank you.
We will bring in John K now. A lot of interviews here this season, this time for a P2. Welcome back to the booth. Have you recovered after 40 laps of pushing here?
Oh, shoot. 40 laps. That was easy. I don't know what you're talking about. I was so calm and relaxed, and it was honestly more like a cruise than a push or torture or any of that stuff.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. So that first run, things were looking up. From the first run to the second run, though, the track dropped 10 degrees in track temperature. And that second run was way different. Was the track temp the difference there? Did Hunter learn something? Did you push too hard? What was ultimately the prevailing factor in this not being much of a race here at the end?
I suck, honestly. No, I just think Hunter was really good. He just really at the end of that first run, he burned his tires off, and I was just, cruising around. So I had plenty of tire, and then that second run, it was just like, I don't know. It just felt like it cooled down, but it felt like it just lost so much grip. So I was sliding all over the place and just trying to stay doing what I was doing in the first stint of just kind of being easy on the throttle and easy on the brakes, and truck was just all over the place. And then had to deal with a lot of lapped cars. Some were a lot easier to pass than others.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it was fun. Almost absolutely smoked Josh Motocek in the freaking corkscrew on the last lap. So that was awesome. Sorry, Josh. That was terrible on my part. I really apologize. I'll be honest. I don't know what the hell happened. So yeah, that's second stint, not fun, but fun overall.
We may have caught a couple of those lapper excursions. So Matt, what do you got here for John?
You didn't have the face cam on, did you? I'm sure it was quite colorful.
Maybe.
Oh God.
I don't know if we had it on for the one in particular I'm thinking of, but
you're probably thinking of the right one then.
I was gonna ask you. I mean, you've had definitely podium speed on a lot of the road courses over, our tenure here covering the Venom Truck Series. What were your expectations coming into tonight? Because obviously a track that Venom hasn't been to before, maybe a little bit of an unknown, especially with the new package. Haven't been to a road course with the new package yet in the series. I mean, kind of what were your thoughts coming into tonight, and did you live up to your expectations or did you exceed?
Do you have the bleep button ready?
Uh-oh.
I will tell you exactly what my first thought was when I came to Laguna Seca.
Kids, cover your ears. Go ahead.
Yep. Cover your ears, everybody.
You got permission.
There's a lot of dirt. So it was, I don't know. It was weird. I did learn something at the hairpin. That is not dirt on the right side going into the hairpin, but it's weird. I feel like Watkins Glen, Road America, those places have a lot of room. Jesus, rhyming. They have room in case you screw up and you can go off. So Laguna was a completely different challenge. But when you run an embarrassing amount of laps for practice after you dive bomb assassinated one of your commentators in a fun run here, you don't want to embarrass yourself. Damn it. Why'd you laugh? I had a straight face. I was good. Totally messed me up. This is all your fault. But yeah, so it was just, I just didn't want to embarrass myself. So now I've clearly done that here, but that I usually do, so it's fine. But yeah, it was just keep it on the track and it'll be all right. And it turned out pretty good. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. Especially qualifying. Holy crap. I thought Hunter was going to out-qualify us by 18 seconds. Take it.
Well, I was going to reference, if you didn't say anything, you have to hit Josh Motocek on the last lap because you got to make contact with somebody on the last lap. It just, you're legally required to.
I made contact with somebody. I nudged Hayden a little bit on accident. But
well, you made contact with me, to say the least, last time we were here.
I'll tell you another funny. I thought that thought I had about there's a lot of dirt and sand here.
Mhm.
I had a very similar moment when I was side by side with Hunter in the last corner, and it ended with "What am I doing?" instead of "Why is there so much dirt?" So the first two words were the same, but yeah.
Oh Lord! All right, shout outs for you tonight.
Yeah. Shout out my girlfriend. She has the door shut, so she can probably still hear me, but it's fine. I love her. Shout out my dad and my mom. Sorry about the interview, because I know my dad's watching. He's gonna be like, "Why are you cussing all the time?" I'm gonna be like, "It's your fault." And I love my mom, so she's awesome. And then shout out Sean Schaefer for the desk. He's my boss. Shout out. I have a real sponsor now, Buckeye Clean event.
Hey.
He wants me to put it on the truck, but go blue. And then shout out the whole team, Alabama Gang, Super Kick, all the guys, Eric, Hayden, Kyle, Luke's not here because he's a whiny baby. Garrett, Paul, Flanky popped in, so shout out all those guys. I think I got everybody again. And then shout out Carson Hosafar for dumping Harrison Burton. Everybody that wants to do it, Carson can do it. And then shout out you guys for being lovely. Tommy has the best hair on YouTube, and Matt has the best smile on YouTube.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Very
That's
nice.
a bold claim.
You're welcome. Matt, also underrated NASCAR knowledge. I missed the whatever the hell it's called, where you ask us questions and we answer them, trivia. Yeah, I missed that. That was fun.
Someday. I gotta make time. But
also, thoughts and prayers out to Jacksonville Speedway. I don't want to forget that. That's a very serious thing going on, and I just want you all to know, Tommy, that my thoughts and prayers are with you guys. Also, being a track worker, it's kind of scary to hear. So, much love to you, brother. Yeah, much love to everybody out there.
well, thank you, partner. Be safe out at the races next time you got them, and yeah, appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again here soon. But go party.
Yep. Michigan next week. Let's effing go.
And I won't be there, so there you go. Hunter Engrav has the dubious distinction of getting to follow up John Kay in his notorious interviews, but at least you finished one spot better than John Kay here tonight. Great performance, as expected. Welcome back to Victory Lane here for the second time.
Thank you very much.
Well, things look to be maybe a bit in question there after the first run. You fell right back to John Kay in the last few laps before you elected to come to pit road. The undercut gets you back out front, and then all of a sudden, there is no fall off like we saw from the first run to the second run. Was it track temperature? Was it something you learned? Because it seemed like you stayed at a pretty steady clip all through that run and just didn't really see the fall off.
Yeah, the first thing, my goal was to try to push it a little bit, to try to make a gap. And it kind of backfired. I got a little bit of lap traffic, got a little interesting, and then I just was like, oh crap, I overcooked my tires then. And then I kept just pushing instead of trying to go down, and I was getting more frustrated with myself. I don't think I got more frustrated with myself in quite a while, because I was choking. I did over 200 laps practice, so it was just frustrating that I was losing it. And second stop, I'm like, all right, let's just try to not destroy the tires. So I did one lap, I pushed it, and after that, it was just trying to be smooth. It was hard, but just not pushing it all and everything, short shifting, and it definitely paid off in the longer run. My tires were a lot better, a lot cooler, and a lot better wear.
Matt, what do you got for your race winner?
I mean, congrats. I know that first run was a little tough there towards the end, but boy, did you turned it around big time, put a whooping on the field. But talk to me a little bit. We talked about some issues with some lap traffic. I mean, how was the lap traffic and trying to get around it with not a whole lot of room to work with here around Laguna Seca? I'm sure it kept you on your toes a little bit there. I see you were off track a couple of times as a result.
Yeah, no, it was definitely interesting. I think the first one was probably the biggest oh crap moment. It was just tough because I didn't want to hit no one, but I didn't know which way they're going. They were kind of like in the middle, so I was trying to go to the racing line, maybe thinking they were getting off the racing line. and then they would move to the racing line. So it was just so tough to judge. I appreciate everybody, though, for getting out of the way, and the ones that communicated, saying which way they were going. That definitely helped a lot. But yeah, no, it was just tough because I didn't want to wreck their race, but I didn't want to wreck my own race and didn't want to wreck anybody. So it was just it was really hard to judge. And yeah, it was stressful the whole time. I don't think that was an easy race at all. I need to take a shower definitely after this race.
Well, we won't keep you from doing that here for much longer, but shout-outs for you as usual.
My mom and my dad for watching. You guys, especially you, Tommy, for the week. Definitely shout out to you. Frustrated my paints didn't work. I was trying to run turn 200 paint this week for you, but it didn't work for some reason. And thanks to both of you. Shout out to Ryan. He had a little rough luck, but no, he told me to pit early, so shout out to him. And Corey for keeping me in the game, keeping my head cool. So yeah, just shout out to all my teammates, and yeah.
Well, shout out to you. Another win here with the Venom Truck Series. Moving back in on the points lead once again, and some interesting tracks coming up here for you. So best of luck here next week in Michigan, because I won't be here, but go get you another one. We'll talk to you again here soon.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
And that is about all we got here for tonight. Matt, who was hanging out with us?
Yeah, quite a few people. Shout out to everybody that was here with us tonight. A couple of new faces as well, which is always good to see. Of course, John K. hopped in here right at the end. Fleeky Roberts, always good to hear from Fleeky. Pamela Ingrab cheering on Hunter there. Bailey here for Josh Motocek. Cole Maxwell, he was in the chat while he was in line for Space Mountain at Disney World. Love to hear that, get the name out there. Carla Matney was here cheering on Rodney. Good to see Carla there. Ryan died, unfortunately, in the chat early. Jeremy McKinnon. Nat cheering on Mr. Lockett. Zach, man, felt like he had speed, but just kind of got choked up there in the middle of the pack, it seemed. But shout out to you for hanging out with us. Jeff Mathis was here as well as JJ Wang. Thank you guys. Oh, and Lindsay G was here before the stream really started. So shout out to Lindsay for being here early. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and go enjoy a holiday weekend.
Yeah, because we don't got much here. No action tomorrow, no action Thursday, of course, no Fridays. Saturday, Sunday, we're off. Technically, we're not off, but we're going to take it off and record the Mission R Challenge race because Matt will be in Illinois and I'll be in Tennessee. So we'll be flip-flopped, and neither of us will be with our equipment or by anybody else's equipment for that matter. So, yeah, no racing here on Sunday. Monday, Matt will be back rather for the RAL Figure 8 Frenzy from Slinger with the MX-5s, which will be very interesting to say the least. And that will lead us back into Michigan next Tuesday. Again, it'll be a Matt Williamson exclusive, unless he can find a tag team partner. And I want to get the name of this race because I think it just got put in the books today. I haven't even looked at it. It is, oh God, it's so long. Why, John?
But it's great. It's really good.
Little Caesars is good. I don't care what you say. 180 presented by JK Gaming. I agree, but that is still a really long title. So yeah, Little Caesars is good, and so is Michigan. That will be 90 laps from Michigan next week. And the Michigan race always delivers here with the Venom Truck Series and on Turn 200. So very excited for that. For all of you enjoying the 4th of July week here, please stay safe, and we'll hope to see you back here next week for some streams and some good old racing action here on Turn 200. That is all we got for you here tonight. Thank you to everybody with the Venom Truck Series. Thank you to the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson. Until we meet again, from Laguna Seca, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long and congratulations to Hunter Engrav on his second career victory with the VTS. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.